Hello again, dreamer. Get comfy. Let the world fade away. Tonight, we travel to a forest that remembers every dream ever dreamed. Let's begin. In the heart of 18th century London, amidst the labyrinthine streets and fog-shrouded alleyways, lived a man whose name would eventually become synonymous with one of humanity's most essential daily rituals. William Addis. Born in 1734 to modest beginnings, was not unlike countless other working-class citizens of his time, destined for a life of labor in the burgeoning industrial city. His early years unfolded in the shadow of St. Paul's Cathedral, where the constant hum of commerce mingled with the cries of street vendors and the clatter of horse-drawn carriages on cobblestone streets. Addis's family resided in a cramped tenement building on Threadneedle Street, sharing their living space with two other families. The room they called home measured scarcely more than 10 feet by 12, its single window providing limited light and ventilation. Despite these challenging circumstances, young William demonstrated an unusual combination of traits that would later prove instrumental in his unexpected journey to invention. He possessed both a meticulous nature and an insatiable curiosity about the world around him, qualities that set him apart from his peers even in childhood. His father, Thomas Addis, worked as a cooper, crafting barrels and casks for the numerous breweries and distilleries that dotted the cityscape. This profession exposed young William to the importance of precision and craftsmanship from an early age, as he watched his father carefully measure and shape wood, ensuring each joint fit perfectly to create watertight vessels. Meanwhile, his mother, Margaret, supplemented the family income through her work as a seamstress, teaching her children the value of attention to detail and patience in completing tasks. The Addis household followed a strict routine dictated by economic necessity rather than personal preference. Mornings began before dawn, with the family gathering around a small coal stove to share a meager breakfast of bread and weak tea before dispersing to their various obligations. William attended the local parish school until the age of 12, where he demonstrated average academic abilities but excelled in practical subjects such as arithmetic and drawing. These skills, though seemingly mundane at the time, would later prove invaluable in his future endeavors. London during this period presented a fascinating paradox of progress and stagnation. While the city stood at the forefront of the Industrial Revolution, with innovations in manufacturing and transportation transforming urban life, basic personal hygiene remained largely neglected. The concept of regular bathing was considered suspect by many medical professionals, who warned against the supposed dangers of exposing one's skin to water. Dental care, in particular, represented a significant gap in public health practices, with most people relying on primitive methods such as chewing twigs or using rough cloths to clean their teeth. William's introduction to the world of commerce came through his apprenticeship with a local soap maker at the age of 14. This experience proved formative, exposing him to the chemistry of cleaning agents and the importance of proper hygiene practices. The soap works, located near the banks of the Thames, operated from dawn until dusk, producing various grades of soap for different social classes. Here, William learned not only the technical aspects of soap production but also developed an appreciation for the relationship between cleanliness and health, a connection that would profoundly influence his future thinking. Despite his growing understanding of hygiene products, William remained an unremarkable figure in the vast tapestry of London life. His days blended together in a predictable pattern of work, meals, and sleep, punctuated only by occasional visits to the local tavern or attendance at church services. Yet beneath this veneer of ordinary existence, something remarkable was brewing. A restless intellect that refused to accept the status quo, particularly when it came to matters of personal health and cleanliness. The year 1756 marked a turning point in William's life, though neither he nor anyone else could have predicted its significance at the time. At 22 years old, he found himself drawn into the complex world of trade and commerce beyond the confines of the soapworks. This transition would eventually lead him down a path that intersected with dental health, setting the stage for his revolutionary contribution to human hygiene. However, like so many pivotal moments in history, it began with what seemed like a simple change in employment, an event that appeared utterly ordinary to contemporary observers, but would later be recognized as the first step toward transforming how humanity approached oral care. The events that led to William Addis's incarceration in Newgate Prison in 1778 were as commonplace as they were tragic, reflecting the harsh realities of 18th century London society. A minor dispute over a business transaction had escalated rapidly, culminating in accusations of debt evasion and fraudulent practices against Addis. Despite his protestations of innocence, the legal system moved swiftly, and within weeks, he found himself behind the formidable stone walls of one of England's most notorious institutions. Newgate Prison, established in the 12th century, stood as a monument to medieval architecture and judicial severity. Its massive stone structure, complete with thick iron bars and narrow windows, cast long shadows across the adjacent streets. Inside, the air hung heavy with the combined odors of damp stone, unwashed bodies, and despair. The prison housed hundreds of inmates in conditions that would be considered inhumane by modern standards, with men, women, and sometimes children sharing overcrowded cells that offered little protection from the elements or each other. For Addis, the initial shock of imprisonment gave way to a grim routine. Days blurred together in the dim light that filtered through barred windows, punctuated by the sounds of distant church bells and the constant murmur of human misery. Food consisted of meager rations, stale bread and thin gruel that barely sustained life, let alone health. In this environment, personal hygiene became not just a luxury but an impossible dream for most inmates. The lack of proper sanitation facilities meant that disease spread rapidly through the prison population, with typhus and dysentery claiming victims regularly. It was during one particularly bleak morning, as Addis sat on his crude wooden bench contemplating his fate, that his attention turned to his own deteriorating dental condition. Like most people of his time, He had relied on traditional methods of tooth cleaning, primarily rubbing a mixture of honey and sugar with ashes on his teeth using a cloth. However, the harsh prison diet, coupled with stress and poor nutrition, had accelerated the deterioration of his oral health. His gums bled frequently, and several teeth had become loose, causing him considerable discomfort. The revelation struck him with surprising clarity. One afternoon, while observing a fellow prisoner attempting to clean his teeth with a frayed piece of wood, Addis's mind, trained by years of careful observation in the soapworks and subsequent business ventures, immediately recognized the inefficiency of this method. The irregular surface of the wood provided inconsistent pressure and coverage, while the lack of proper bristles failed to remove debris effectively from between teeth. As he watched, he began mentally cataloging the shortcomings of existing dental hygiene practices, his mind racing with possibilities for improvement. The prison's strict schedule allowed for limited periods of exercise in the yard, and it was during one of these brief respites that Addis noticed a broom lying against the wall. The sight triggered a cascade of ideas in his mind. The broom's construction, with its sturdy handle and bundled bristles, represented exactly the kind of design principle he had been contemplating. If similar principles could be applied to a smaller scale, creating a tool specifically designed for cleaning teeth, it might revolutionize personal dental care. With characteristic determination, Addis began experimenting with available materials. He secured permission to collect leftover animal bones from the prison kitchen, and traded small favors with guards to obtain some discarded bristles from their worn-out brushes. Working by candlelight in the evenings, he carefully drilled holes into the ends of small bone pieces and inserted bundles of bristles, securing them with thread and glue made from boiled animal sinew. Each prototype represented hours of painstaking work, conducted under the watchful eyes of fellow prisoners who initially regarded his efforts with skepticism bordering on derision. The process was far from smooth. Early attempts resulted in bristles falling out or handles breaking under pressure. Some designs proved too bulky for comfortable use, while others lacked sufficient strength to withstand repeated cleaning. Yet with each failure, Addis refined his approach, learning valuable lessons about material selection and construction technique. His background in manufacturing proved invaluable, allowing him to apply principles of quality control and design efficiency to his makeshift workshop. As months passed, word of Addis's project spread through the prison population. What had begun as a solitary pursuit gradually attracted the attention of other inmates, some of whom offered suggestions or assisted with testing new designs. Even the prison guards showed interest, occasionally bringing additional materials or offering technical advice based on their experiences with maintenance work. This unexpected collaboration transformed what could have been a lonely endeavor into a shared mission, providing a rare sense of purpose and community within the oppressive prison walls. The irony of developing a hygiene product in such unsanitary conditions was not lost on Addis. Yet he viewed his situation as uniquely advantageous for innovation. The extreme environment forced him to consider every aspect of functionality and durability, pushing him to create a design that could withstand harsh conditions and provide effective cleaning with minimal resources. This perspective would prove crucial in developing a product suitable for mass adoption beyond the prison walls. By the time his trial date approached, Addis had developed several working prototypes of his tooth cleaning device. While still rudimentary compared to modern standards, these early versions demonstrated clear advantages over existing methods. The combination of a firm handle and properly arranged bristles allowed for more thorough cleaning with less effort, while the use of natural materials ensured the product remained affordable and accessible. More importantly, the process of invention had provided Addis with something far more valuable than freedom. A vision for improving public health through innovative design. Though his legal troubles would soon reach their conclusion, the seeds of revolution in dental hygiene had already been planted. What had begun as a personal response to physical discomfort had evolved into a profound understanding of the relationship between tool design and health outcomes. As Addis prepared to face his judges, he carried with him not just hope for release, but also the blueprint for a product that would transform daily routines worldwide. A testament to human ingenuity flourishing even in the darkest of circumstances. The courtroom proceedings that would determine William Addis's fate took place in the austere chambers of the Old Bailey, where justice was meted out with Victorian severity. As he stood before the bench, flanked by stern-faced barristers and surrounded by the echoing murmurs of spectators, Addis felt the weight of his circumstances pressing heavily upon him. The charges against him, fraudulent business practices and debt evasion, carried potentially severe penalties. Yet his mind remained curiously focused on the prototypes hidden in his cell, their potential impact on society seeming to grow in importance with each passing moment. The prosecution presented its case with characteristic thoroughness, detailing financial transactions and presenting witnesses who testified to alleged discrepancies in Addis's business dealings. However, the defense mounted a compelling counter-argument, emphasizing procedural irregularities and highlighting inconsistencies in the evidence presented. Throughout the proceedings, Addis maintained a composed demeanor, his thoughts alternating between the arguments unfolding before him and the possibilities inherent in his dental hygiene innovation. When the verdict was finally delivered, not guilty, the courtroom erupted in a mixture of gasps and relieved sighs. For Addis, the moment represented more than mere acquittal. It signaled the beginning of a new chapter in his life, one where his incarceration-born ideas could be transformed from crude prototypes into marketable products. As he emerged from the courthouse into the bright London sunlight, he carried with him not just his freedom but also a renewed sense of purpose and determination. The transition from convicted prisoner to entrepreneur proved surprisingly swift. Within weeks of his release, Addis secured modest premises near Fleet Street, converting a former apothecary shop into his first manufacturing facility. The location proved fortuitous, situated as it was in close proximity to both suppliers of raw materials and potential customers among the professional classes. The building itself, though modest in appearance, contained sufficient space for both production and sales operations, with a small workshop in the rear and a retail area facing the street. Establishing his business required navigating numerous challenges, not least of which was overcoming societal prejudice against former prisoners. Addis addressed this obstacle through a combination of transparency and innovation. He openly acknowledged his past incarceration, framing it not as a liability but as the catalyst for his invention. This honesty, coupled with demonstrations of his product's effectiveness, gradually won over skeptical customers and suppliers alike. Local tradespeople, initially hesitant to engage with an ex-convict, found themselves impressed by Addis's business acumen and commitment to quality. The refinement of his original prison prototypes occupied much of Addis's attention during these early months. Working late into the night by candlelight, he systematically improved every aspect of his design. The handle, originally fashioned from leftover animal bones, evolved into more durable and aesthetically pleasing forms, crafted from polished wood species sourced from careful suppliers. Bristle selection underwent rigorous testing, with Addis experimenting with various animal hairs to determine optimal combinations of stiffness and flexibility. Each modification was meticulously documented in a ledger that grew thicker with each passing week. Production processes required equal attention to detail. Addis implemented a system of quality control that would have been considered advanced for its time, establishing clear standards for each stage of manufacture. Workers, initially recruited from among former prison acquaintances, received thorough training in assembly techniques and inspection protocols. The workshop buzzed with activity as drills whirred, glue pots simmered, and finished products underwent final examination before being packaged for sale. Marketing posed perhaps the greatest challenge of all. In an era when dental hygiene received little attention beyond aristocratic circles, convincing the general public of the need for a dedicated tooth-cleaning device required considerable persuasion. Addis approached this task with characteristic methodical precision, developing demonstration techniques that vividly illustrated the superior cleaning power of his invention compared to traditional methods. He arranged public displays in local markets, inviting passers-by to witness firsthand the difference his product could make in removing stains and preventing gum disease. Word of mouth proved remarkably effective in spreading awareness of Addis's innovation. Early adopters, primarily among the professional classes, quickly recognized the benefits of regular tooth cleaning and became enthusiastic advocates for the product. Their testimonials, often shared during social gatherings and professional meetings, helped establish credibility for Addis's invention. Medical practitioners, initially skeptical, began recommending the device to patients after observing its positive effects on oral health. Financial considerations necessitated careful management. Addis invested his modest savings wisely, focusing on incremental expansion rather than rapid growth. He negotiated favorable terms with suppliers, established credit lines with reliable merchants, and maintained a lean operational structure that maximized efficiency. This conservative approach to business management helped weather the inevitable fluctuations in demand that accompanied the introduction of any new product. Perhaps most significantly, Addis cultivated relationships with influential figures in London's business community. Through strategic networking at coffee houses and professional societies, he gained access to valuable advice and support from established entrepreneurs. These connections proved invaluable in navigating the complexities of patent law and intellectual property protection, areas where Addis's previous experience provided little guidance. The patent application process, though arduous, ultimately yielded official recognition of his invention, a crucial milestone in establishing market exclusivity and protecting his innovation. As months turned into years, the transformation from lone inventor to successful businessman became increasingly evident. The small workshop expanded to occupy additional space, employing a growing workforce of skilled artisans and administrative staff. Sales records revealed a steady increase in demand, with distribution networks extending beyond London to other major cities. What had begun as a solitary pursuit in the confines of Newgate Prison had evolved into a thriving enterprise that touched the lives of thousands through improved dental hygiene. Yet, despite his growing success, Addis remained committed to continuous improvement. Customer feedback was carefully analyzed and incorporated into ongoing design modifications, ensuring that each generation of products offered enhanced performance and user experience. His dedication to innovation extended beyond the immediate concerns of toothbrush design to encompass broader questions of manufacturing efficiency and quality assurance. This forward-thinking approach positioned his business not just as a supplier of hygiene products, but as a pioneer in industrial methodology. The foundation laid during these formative years would prove instrumental in shaping the future of dental hygiene. Through persistence, innovation, and strategic business management, William Addis transformed a simple idea born of necessity into a commercial enterprise with far-reaching implications. His journey from prison cell to prosperous manufacturer exemplified the power of human ingenuity to overcome adversity and effect meaningful change, setting the stage for further developments that would revolutionize personal health practices worldwide. As William Addis's business gained momentum, the modest workshop on Fleet Street underwent a dramatic transformation into a sophisticated manufacturing operation that would set new standards for production efficiency and quality control in 18th century industry. The evolution from artisanal craft to systematic manufacturing represented not merely an expansion of scale, but a fundamental shift in approach, one that would influence industrial practices far beyond the realm of dental hygiene products. The cornerstone of Addis's manufacturing philosophy lay in his implementation of division of labor, a concept that predated Adam Smith's famous treatise by several years. Recognizing that the complexity of toothbrush production demanded specialized expertise at each stage, Addis reorganized his workforce into distinct teams, each responsible for specific aspects of the manufacturing process. The handle preparation team focused exclusively on sourcing, cutting, and finishing wood stocks, while another group concentrated on drilling precise holes and preparing bristle bundles. This specialization allowed workers to develop exceptional proficiency in their assigned tasks, dramatically increasing both productivity and consistency. Quality control became an obsession for Addis, who understood that the reliability of his product was paramount to building trust with customers. He instituted a 3-tier inspection system that would become legendary in London's manufacturing circles. First, Raw materials underwent rigorous examination upon arrival, with defective wood or substandard bristles rejected outright. During production, intermediate inspections ensured that each component met exacting specifications before proceeding to the next stage. Finally, completed toothbrushes faced comprehensive testing, including mechanical stress analysis and cleaning efficacy assessments using specially prepared test surfaces. Innovations in tooling represented another significant advancement in Addis's manufacturing process. Traditional hand tools gave way to custom-designed equipment that increased both precision and efficiency. The development of a specialized drilling apparatus, capable of creating uniform holes in various handle sizes, revolutionized the attachment of bristles. This machine, though primitive by modern standards, represented a quantum leap in manufacturing capability, reducing production time while enhancing product consistency. Similarly, a proprietary gluing mechanism ensured uniform application of adhesive, eliminating the uneven bonding that had plagued earlier prototypes. Material science played a crucial role in refining the manufacturing process. Through extensive experimentation, Addis identified optimal combinations of wood species and bristle types for different market segments. Hardwoods like beech and pearwood proved ideal for handles due to their density and resistance to warping, while boar bristles from Siberian hogs offered the perfect balance of stiffness and flexibility. The establishment of direct supply relationships with European tanneries and timber merchants ensured consistent access to high-quality raw materials, while economies of scale reduced costs substantially. Logistics and inventory management emerged as critical components of Addis's manufacturing strategy, implementing a pioneering system of stock rotation, what we now recognize as FIFO, first in, first out, prevented material degradation and ensured freshness of components. Detailed records tracked every aspect of production, from raw material acquisition to finished goods inventory, enabling Addis to optimize ordering patterns and minimize waste. This data-driven approach to manufacturing would later influence inventory management practices across various industries. The factory's layout itself underwent careful redesign to maximize workflow efficiency. Workstations were arranged in a logical sequence that minimized unnecessary movement of materials and personnel. Natural light was maximized through strategic placement of workbenches near windows, while artificial illumination was improved through the installation of better quality oil lamps and reflectors. Ventilation systems, though rudimentary by modern standards, helped maintain acceptable working conditions and reduce the risk of fire, a constant concern in manufacturing environments of the period. Training and workforce development became institutional priorities under Addis's leadership, recognizing that skilled labor was essential to maintaining quality standards. He established an apprentice program that combined theoretical instruction with hands-on experience. Senior craftsmen mentored newcomers, passing down not just technical skills but also the company's commitment to excellence. Regular workshops addressed emerging challenges and introduced new techniques, fostering a culture of continuous improvement among the workforce. Packaging and branding represented another area where Addis's innovative approach distinguished his products in the marketplace. Moving beyond simple wrapping paper, He developed distinctive packaging that protected the toothbrushes during transport while serving as a marketing tool. Instructions for use, printed on high-quality paper, accompanied each purchase, educating customers about proper hygiene practices and reinforcing the product's value proposition. This attention to detail in presentation helped elevate the toothbrush from a utilitarian object to a symbol of progressive personal care. Perhaps most significantly, Addis implemented what might be considered an early version of customer feedback loop. Retail locations served not just as points of sale but as information-gathering centers, where customer experiences and suggestions were systematically recorded and analyzed. This data informed ongoing product improvements and marketing strategies, creating a virtuous cycle of innovation and customer satisfaction. The responsiveness to market needs demonstrated by Addis's operations set a new standard for consumer product companies. The impact of these manufacturing innovations extended far beyond Addis's immediate business interests. Other manufacturers in London began adopting similar approaches to quality control and workflow optimization, recognizing the competitive advantage offered by systematic production methods. The emphasis on worker training and specialization influenced hiring practices across various trades, while the focus on material science inspired research into new applications for natural resources. Though largely unrecognized at the time, Addis's manufacturing operation represented a microcosm of the Industrial Revolution taking shape around him. As the years progressed, the Fleet Street factory became a model of efficient production, attracting visitors from other manufacturing sectors eager to learn from Addis's methods. The integration of technological innovation, systematic quality control, and workforce development created a template for modern manufacturing that would influence industrial practices well into the 19th century. What had begun as a simple production facility had evolved into a proving ground for manufacturing concepts that would help shape the future of industrial production in Britain and beyond. Through these manufacturing innovations, William Addis not only established a successful business, but also contributed significantly to the evolution of production methods during a crucial period of industrial development. The systematic approach to manufacturing that characterized his operation represented a bridge between traditional craftsmanship and modern industrial practices, laying groundwork that would support future advances in production technology and business management. As William Addis's manufacturing capabilities matured, he turned his attention to the equally complex challenge of market education and brand building, recognizing that the success of his innovative toothbrush depended not merely on production efficiency but on widespread consumer acceptance. Addis devised a comprehensive marketing strategy that would fundamentally alter public perceptions of dental hygiene. His approach combined scientific authority, social influence, and practical demonstration in ways that anticipated modern marketing techniques by nearly 2 centuries. The cornerstone of Addis's marketing strategy lay in his partnership with the medical community, particularly dentists and surgeons practicing in London's burgeoning professional districts. Understanding that medical endorsement carried significant weight with the educated classes, he initiated a systematic campaign to educate healthcare professionals about the benefits of regular tooth cleaning. This involved hosting private demonstrations at prestigious medical societies, where he presented clinical evidence gathered through careful documentation of patient outcomes, demonstrating the correlation between toothbrush use and improved oral health. The resulting physician recommendations proved invaluable in establishing credibility among discerning consumers. Public education campaigns represented another crucial element of Addis's marketing approach. Utilizing the popular medium of broadsheets and pamphlets, he distributed educational materials that combined scientific explanations with practical advice. These publications, featuring detailed illustrations of dental anatomy and step-by-step cleaning instructions, transformed abstract medical concepts into accessible knowledge for the general public. Notably, Addis avoided alarmist language, instead emphasizing the preventive benefits of regular tooth cleaning and positioning his product as a tool for maintaining health rather than addressing problems. The establishment of hygiene demonstration centers in strategic locations throughout London marked a particularly innovative aspect of Addis's marketing strategy. These venues, often situated near fashionable shopping districts or professional gathering places, offered visitors the opportunity to experience the benefits of toothbrush use firsthand. Trained demonstrators used magnifying lenses and special lighting to show customers the effectiveness of different cleaning methods, making the invisible visible and thereby creating a compelling argument for his product's superiority. These centers also served as collection points for customer feedback, enabling Addis to refine both his product and marketing messages based on real-world experiences. Social stratification required careful consideration in Addis's marketing approach. Recognizing that different social classes responded to distinct messaging strategies, he developed tiered product lines and corresponding promotional materials. For the upper classes, emphasis was placed on the refinement and sophistication of the product, with handles crafted from exotic woods and packaging featuring elaborate designs. Middle-class consumers received messaging focused on practical benefits and cost-effectiveness, while working-class marketing highlighted the product's durability and ease of use. This segmentation strategy proved remarkably effective in expanding market penetration across social boundaries. Advertising innovations played a crucial role in building brand recognition. Addis pioneered the use of sequential advertising campaigns, where initial advertisements focused on problem identification, e.g., stained teeth, bad breath, followed by solution-oriented messages demonstrating the effectiveness of his product. This storytelling approach to marketing created narrative arcs that engaged readers over time, building anticipation and interest in the product. Additionally, he utilized celebrity endorsements from notable London figures, including prominent actors, politicians, and socialites, whose public adoption of the toothbrush lent social cachet to its use. Distribution channels received equal attention in Addis's marketing strategy. Beyond traditional retail outlets, he established partnerships with apothecaries, barber shops, and even fashionable coffee houses, creating multiple touchpoints for consumer engagement. Each distribution partner received training in product demonstration and customer education, ensuring consistent messaging across all sales channels. Special promotions, including bundled offerings with complementary hygiene products, helped introduce the toothbrush to new customer segments while encouraging repeat purchases. The role of packaging in marketing strategy cannot be overstated. Addis invested heavily in developing distinctive packaging that served multiple functions: protection during transport, communication of product benefits, and reinforcement of brand identity. The inclusion of detailed usage instructions, printed on high-quality paper, transformed packaging into an educational tool, while simultaneously elevating the perceived value of the product. Seasonal variations in packaging design kept the product fresh in consumers' minds and encouraged collection among loyal customers. Community engagement formed another pillar of Addis's marketing approach. By sponsoring local health initiatives and participating in public health campaigns, he positioned his company as a responsible corporate citizen, while simultaneously promoting the importance of dental hygiene. Lectures at mechanics institutes and workers' educational societies extended the reach of his message to broader audiences, while charitable donations of toothbrushes to hospitals and orphanages generated positive publicity while fulfilling genuine social needs. Data collection and analysis became integral to Addis's marketing operations. Through systematic tracking of sales patterns, customer demographics, and regional preferences, he gained insights that informed both product development and marketing strategies. This data-driven approach allowed him to identify emerging trends and respond proactively to changing market conditions, maintaining his competitive edge in an increasingly crowded marketplace. Perhaps most significantly, Addis recognized the importance of creating emotional connections with customers. His marketing materials emphasized themes of personal empowerment, social acceptance, and self-improvement, tapping into deep-seated desires for betterment and belonging. Testimonials from satisfied customers, prominently featured in advertisements and promotional literature, created a sense of community around the practice of regular tooth cleaning, transforming individual hygiene habits into shared social norms. The cumulative effect of these marketing innovations created a virtuous cycle of awareness, acceptance, and adoption that propelled Addis's toothbrush from novelty to necessity. By addressing both rational and emotional motivations for product use, while simultaneously building credibility through medical endorsement and social proof, he succeeded in establishing a new category of personal care product. The marketing strategies employed by Addis not only secured the success of his own business, but also set new standards for consumer product promotion that would influence generations of marketers to come. Through these comprehensive marketing efforts, William Addis achieved something far more significant than mere commercial success. He fundamentally altered public attitudes toward dental hygiene, creating a lasting legacy that extended far beyond the boundaries of his immediate business interests. The sophisticated marketing infrastructure he developed, combining education, demonstration, and social influence, represented a pioneering approach to consumer behavior change that continues to inform modern marketing practices. As William Addis's toothbrush gained popularity among London's diverse social strata, its impact rippled through society in ways that extended far beyond mere dental hygiene. The adoption of regular tooth cleaning practices began subtly reshaping social interactions, professional opportunities, and even marital prospects, as sparkling white teeth and fresh breath emerged as markers of respectability and refinement. This transformation in personal presentation reflected deeper shifts in societal values, where attention to personal hygiene became increasingly associated with moral character and social standing. The professional classes, particularly those in client-facing occupations, were among the earliest adopters of Addis's innovation. Lawyers, doctors, and merchants recognized the competitive advantage conferred by a confident smile and pleasant breath during business negotiation. Coffee houses and professional clubs began witnessing a noticeable change in conversation dynamics, as individuals felt more comfortable engaging in close-quarters discussions without fear of offending others. This newfound confidence manifested in longer, more productive meetings and stronger professional relationships, as the barriers imposed by poor oral hygiene gradually diminished. Social gatherings and courtship rituals underwent subtle but significant transformations. Ballrooms and assembly rooms, once sites of discreet handkerchief usage and strategic positioning relative to conversation partners, witnessed increasing levels of intimacy and social interaction. The ability to smile freely and laugh without reservation became a prized social asset, particularly in marriage markets where first impressions carried tremendous weight. Parents began insisting on proper dental hygiene for their children, viewing it as essential preparation for successful social integration and eventual marriage prospects. Medical practitioners observed compelling correlations between improved dental hygiene and overall health outcomes. Surgeons reported reduced incidence of mouth-related infections among their patients, while physicians noted fewer cases of respiratory ailments previously attributed to poor oral health. These observations sparked broader discussions about the interconnectedness of personal hygiene and public health, contributing to the gradual emergence of preventative medicine as a legitimate field of study. Hospitals and charitable institutions began incorporating regular tooth cleaning into their patient care protocols, marking a significant shift in healthcare practices. The workplace environment experienced notable changes as well. Clerks and office workers, forkers, formerly constrained by concerns about personal odor and appearance, found themselves more comfortable in close working quarters. Productivity studies conducted by progressive employers revealed interesting patterns. Offices that promoted good dental hygiene among employees reported higher morale, better attendance records, and improved team cohesion. This data, though anecdotal by modern standards, contributed to the growing recognition of personal hygiene as a factor in workplace efficiency and employee well-being. Education institutions, particularly boarding schools and universities, began incorporating dental hygiene practices into their daily routines. Headmasters and professors observed improvements in student concentration and classroom participation, attributing these changes to both physical comfort and increased social confidence among students. Debating societies and public speaking clubs reported higher membership numbers, as young people felt more empowered to express themselves verbally without anxiety about their appearance or breath. The impact on London's service industries proved particularly noteworthy. Hospitality establishments, from grand hotels to modest taverns, adapted their operations to accommodate changing customer expectations regarding personal presentation. Barber shops expanded their services to include thorough facial grooming and breath-freshening treatments, while restaurants adjusted their menus to accommodate patrons concerned about food's impact on dental health. Even public transportation operators noted changes in passenger behavior, with commuters becoming more willing to share confined spaces as personal hygiene standards improved. Fashion and cosmetic industries responded to these societal shifts by developing complementary products and services. Perfumers introduced specialized oral care fragrances, while milliners designed hats and bonnets that framed the face more attractively, emphasizing the newly cared-for smiles of their clients. Tailors reported increased demand for lighter-colored fabrics, as wearers felt more confident about maintaining their appearance throughout social engagements. The entire ecosystem of personal presentation evolved in response to the rising importance of dental hygiene. Perhaps most significantly, the adoption of regular tooth cleaning practices began influencing broader public health policies and social welfare initiatives. Municipal authorities, noting the correlation between improved hygiene practices and reduced healthcare costs, began supporting educational campaigns about personal care. Workhouses and correctional facilities incorporated dental hygiene into their daily routines, recognizing its impact on both physical health and behavioral outcomes. These institutional changes reflected a growing understanding of hygiene's role in social stability and economic productivity. The cultural landscape of London transformed as well, with art and literature beginning to reflect the new emphasis on dental aesthetics. Portraits commissioned during this period increasingly captured subjects smiling naturally, rather than maintaining the traditionally serious expressions of earlier generations. Playwrights and novelists incorporated themes of personal hygiene and social acceptance into their works, exploring the psychological and social implications of these changing norms. Satirical prints and cartoons humorously documented the transition, capturing both the enthusiasm and occasional excesses of the new hygiene-conscious society. Class distinctions began to blur slightly, as the practice of regular tooth cleaning spread across social boundaries. While premium versions of Addis's toothbrush remained status symbols among the elite, affordable alternatives made basic dental hygiene accessible to working-class families. This democratization of personal care contributed to broader social mobility, as individuals from different backgrounds found common ground in shared hygiene practices. Public baths and washhouses, once primarily functional spaces, evolved into social hubs where people from various walks of life interacted while maintaining their personal care routines. The impact on family dynamics proved equally profound. Household budgets began allocating funds specifically for hygiene products, reflecting changing priorities in domestic spending. Parent-child relationships evolved as parents took greater responsibility for teaching hygiene practices, while children became more conscious of their personal presentation from an early age. Family gatherings and celebrations took on new dimensions as relatives gathered with increased confidence in their appearance and interpersonal interactions. Professional organizations and social clubs began incorporating hygiene awareness into their activities, organizing lectures and demonstrations about proper care techniques. These events served not only educational purposes, but also functioned as social gatherings that reinforced the importance of personal presentation. Membership in certain clubs and societies began requiring adherence to basic hygiene standards, further institutionalizing these practices within formal social structures. The ripple effects extended to international relations and cultural exchanges as well. Foreign visitors to London noted the city's increasing emphasis on personal hygiene, while British travelers abroad brought back observations about different hygiene practices. This cross-cultural exchange contributed to the gradual globalization of hygiene standards, with Addis's innovations serving as a catalyst for broader discussions about health and social norms across Europe and beyond. As these societal changes unfolded, William Addis found himself not merely the proprietor of a successful business but an unwitting agent of social transformation. The simple act of brushing one's teeth had become intertwined with complex social dynamics, affecting everything from professional success to romantic relationships and public health policies. The toothbrush, once a humble prison-born invention, had evolved into a symbol of modernity and social progress, reshaping the very fabric of London's society in ways that would continue to influence generations to come. As the 19th century dawned, William Addis's toothbrush empire stood poised on the brink of international expansion, with global demand for his innovative product accelerating at an unprecedented rate. The convergence of several historical factors, the Napoleonic Wars, the rise of colonial empires, and the burgeoning transatlantic trade, created both opportunities and challenges that would test the resilience and adaptability of his business operations. This period of rapid globalization would transform Addis's company from a local London enterprise into a multinational organization spanning continents and cultures. The Napoleonic Wars, while disruptive to traditional European trade routes, paradoxically accelerated the spread of Addis's toothbrush through alternative channels. As British military forces deployed across Europe, soldiers carried toothbrushes as essential items in their kits, introducing the concept of regular dental hygiene to diverse populations. Military hospitals, recognizing the preventive health benefits of proper oral care, began purchasing substantial quantities of toothbrushes for their facilities. This institutional adoption proved particularly significant in overseas territories, where British military presence served as a vector for introducing Western hygiene practices to local populations. Colonial expansion presented both opportunities and ethical dilemmas for Addis's business. The establishment of British colonies in India, Australia, and Africa created new markets hungry for Western goods, including personal hygiene products. However, The cultural adaptation required to penetrate these markets demanded careful consideration. Addis invested heavily in developing region-specific product lines that accommodated local preferences in handle materials, bristle textures, and packaging designs. For instance, Indian markets preferred handles crafted from neem wood, valued for its natural antibacterial properties, while African colonies showed greater acceptance of products featuring locally familiar decorative motifs. The transatlantic trade network emerged as a crucial conduit for global expansion, connecting London with major ports in North America, the Caribbean, and South America. American merchants, particularly in burgeoning cities like New York and Boston, proved especially receptive to Addis's products. The United States' rapidly growing population, coupled with its emphasis on personal hygiene as a marker of civilization, created fertile ground for market penetration. However, protecting intellectual property rights across international borders proved challenging, as competitors in America began producing unauthorized copies of Addis's designs. Supply chain logistics underwent radical transformation to meet the demands of global distribution. Addis established centralized warehousing facilities in key port cities, including Liverpool, Bristol, and later New York, to facilitate efficient inventory management and timely delivery. The development of steam-powered shipping and improved navigation technologies enabled faster, more reliable transportation of goods across oceans. However, political instability in certain regions and fluctuating tariffs between nations required constant adjustment of shipping routes and pricing strategies. Cultural adaptation extended beyond product design to encompass marketing strategies and educational outreach. Addis's company produced multilingual instructional materials and hired local representatives, fluent in regional languages, to demonstrate proper toothbrush use. In some markets, traditional healers and local medical practitioners were engaged as brand ambassadors, bridging the gap between Western hygiene practices and indigenous health beliefs. This approach proved particularly effective in regions where sudden imposition of foreign customs might otherwise have encountered resistance. The global expansion coincided with significant technological advancements that enhanced production capabilities. The introduction of mechanized drilling equipment and automated bristle insertion machines allowed Addis to scale up production without compromising quality. Standardization of manufacturing processes enabled consistent product quality across different production facilities, whether in London or newly established plants in colonial territories. This technological investment proved crucial in meeting the exponentially increasing global demand while maintaining brand integrity. Economic factors played a complex role in international expansion. Currency fluctuations, varying tax regimes, and differing labor costs across regions required sophisticated financial management. Addis implemented what would now be recognized as early transfer pricing strategies, optimizing production and distribution costs across international borders. The establishment of local manufacturing facilities in key markets, particularly in India and North America, helped mitigate some of these economic challenges while creating jobs and stimulating local economies. Political considerations weighed heavily on expansion decisions. Trade embargoes, diplomatic tensions, and colonial policies influenced market entry strategies and operational decisions. During periods of heightened Anglo-French hostilities, for example, Addis temporarily shifted focus to non-European markets to avoid disruptions caused by naval blockades. Similarly, the abolition of slavery and subsequent labor reforms in various colonies necessitated adjustments in production practices and workforce management. The global expansion also facilitated unprecedented cultural exchange and innovation diffusion. Feedback from international markets inspired product improvements and new features that benefited users worldwide. Japanese lacquer techniques, discovered through trade contacts, were incorporated into premium product lines, while Australian Aboriginal methods of wood treatment influenced handle production processes. This cross-pollination of ideas and techniques enriched both the product offerings and the manufacturing processes, creating a dynamic cycle of innovation that benefited all markets. One of the most significant challenges Addis faced during this period of expansion was maintaining quality control across vast distances and diverse manufacturing environments. To address this, he implemented a revolutionary system of traveling inspectors who moved between international production facilities, ensuring adherence to London's stringent standards. These inspectors became crucial ambassadors of the brand, not only overseeing production, but also facilitating knowledge transfer between different branches of the company. Their presence helped standardize practices while allowing for necessary regional adaptations, striking a delicate balance between global consistency and local relevance. The rise of colonial empires also brought about unique opportunities for market education. Addis capitalized on the British Empire's extensive network of missionary schools and colonial administrative centers to promote dental hygiene awareness. Missionaries, often among the first Westerners to establish contact with indigenous populations, proved to be unexpected allies in spreading the message of oral care. They incorporated toothbrush use into their teachings about Western customs and health practices, helping to normalize the behavior in regions where such concepts were previously unknown. This grassroots approach to market education proved remarkably effective, as it came wrapped in the broader context of cultural exchange rather than direct commercial promotion. However, the global expansion wasn't without its ethical complexities. The reliance on colonial trade networks sometimes placed Addis's business at odds with emerging movements for social justice and decolonization. Critics began questioning the morality of profiting from markets opened through imperial conquest, particularly when indigenous labor was exploited to produce or distribute the toothbrushes. In response, Addis took steps to ensure fair wages and safe working conditions in his overseas operations. Though these measures were often seen as insufficient by contemporary reformers, this tension between commercial success and ethical responsibility would become a recurring theme throughout the company's history. Technological advancements in communication also played a pivotal role in managing global operations. The introduction of the telegraph revolutionized how information flowed between headquarters in London and branch offices abroad. Orders could be placed and fulfilled more efficiently. Market trends could be monitored in real time, and crises could be addressed with unprecedented speed. Addis embraced these innovations enthusiastically, investing in telegraph infrastructure and training staff to utilize it effectively. This foresight allowed his company to maintain a competitive edge over rivals who were slower to adapt to the new technology. Despite the challenges, the global expansion yielded remarkable results. By the mid-19th century, Addis's toothbrush had become a household name in dozens of countries, transcending linguistic and cultural barriers. The product's success demonstrated the universal appeal of improved hygiene practices, proving that innovation born out of necessity in one corner of the world could resonate deeply across vastly different societies. Local adaptations such as bamboo handles in Asia, softer bristles for tropical climates, and compact designs for nomadic populations showcased the flexibility of Addis's original design, while reinforcing the importance of respecting regional preferences. The economic impact of this expansion extended far beyond Addis's immediate business interests. It stimulated ancillary industries, from timber harvesting to bristle processing, creating jobs and fostering economic development in participating regions. Ports that handled shipments of Addis's products saw increased activity, benefiting local economies through higher customs revenues and expanded trade volumes. Even competitors, forced to innovate to keep pace with Addis's growing dominance, contributed to the overall advancement of manufacturing techniques and marketing strategies within the personal care industry. Perhaps most intriguingly, the global spread of Addis's toothbrush catalyzed broader societal changes in many regions. In some cultures, the adoption of regular tooth cleaning practices challenged traditional views on personal hygiene, sparking debates about modernization and cultural preservation. In others, it provided a tangible symbol of progress and aspiration, bridging generational divides and encouraging younger populations to embrace new ways of thinking. The toothbrush, once a simple tool invented in a prison cell, had evolved into an agent of cultural transformation, influencing everything from social norms to economic structures worldwide. As Addis entered the later years of his life, he found himself presiding over an empire that spanned continents and touched millions of lives daily. The challenges of global expansion had tested his resolve, his ingenuity, and his ethical compass, but they had also reinforced his belief in the power of innovation to drive positive change. What had begun as a solution to a personal problem had grown into a global phenomenon, reshaping not just how people cared for their teeth but how they viewed themselves and their place in an increasingly interconnected world. The burgeoning success of William Addis's toothbrush empire inevitably attracted competition, both domestic and international, as entrepreneurs recognized the lucrative potential of the dental hygiene market. By the 1820s, numerous imitators had emerged, each attempting to capture a share of the growing demand for tooth cleaning devices. These competitors ranged from small-scale artisans producing handmade alternatives to larger manufacturers leveraging industrial capabilities to challenge Addis's dominance. The resulting competitive landscape forced Addis to continually innovate and adapt, transforming what might have been a static monopoly into a dynamic marketplace characterized by rapid evolution and technological advancement. Domestic competition initially manifested in the form of counterfeit products and unauthorized reproductions. Unscrupulous manufacturers, particularly in provincial areas less accessible to legal enforcement, produced cheap imitations of Addis's designs, flooding local markets with inferior substitutes. These knockoffs, while lacking the quality and effectiveness of the original, appealed to price-sensitive consumers and threatened to undermine Addis's carefully cultivated reputation for excellence. Addis invested heavily in trademark protection and anti-counterfeiting measures, including distinctive packaging features, serialized production numbers, and specialized bristle arrangements that were difficult to replicate accurately. The emergence of legitimate domestic competitors posed a more sophisticated threat. Honest, established manufacturing houses, recognizing the profitability of the toothbrush market, began developing their own innovative designs. Some focused on cost reduction through mass production techniques, while others emphasized premium materials and artisanal craftsmanship to differentiate their offerings. Particularly noteworthy was the entry of several prominent soap and candle manufacturers into the dental hygiene sector. Leveraging their existing distribution networks and chemical expertise to create integrated personal care product lines that included toothbrushes, international competition proved equally formidable, with foreign manufacturers capitalizing on reduced intellectual property protection across borders to produce and market their own versions of Addis's invention. American companies, benefiting from lower labor costs and abundant natural resources, developed highly competitive product lines that began challenging Addis's dominance in transatlantic markets. European competitors, particularly in France and Germany, leveraged their strong engineering traditions to introduce technical innovations that pushed the boundaries of toothbrush design. Some even attempted to circumvent Addis's patents by making incremental modifications to his original concept, testing the limits of legal protection. Faced with mounting competition, Addis responded with a multifaceted strategy that combined technological innovation, marketing sophistication, and operational efficiency. On the technical front, he established a dedicated research and development division tasked with continuous product improvement. This team explored various enhancements, including ergonomic handle designs, graduated bristle stiffness for different cleaning needs, and specialized models for children and elderly users. The introduction of interchangeable heads, allowing users to replace worn bristles without purchasing an entirely new toothbrush, represented a particularly significant innovation that set Addis apart from many competitors. Marketing strategies evolved to emphasize brand loyalty and superior quality. Addis launched comprehensive customer education campaigns highlighting the advantages of genuine products over cheaper alternatives. using scientific demonstrations and clinical studies to substantiate claims of superior performance. Loyalty programs and subscription services were introduced, providing customers with regular replacements and personalized recommendations based on individual dental needs. Collaborations with prominent dentists and medical institutions strengthened the company's position as the authoritative voice in dental hygiene, making it difficult for competitors to challenge its credibility. Operational improvements focused on enhancing efficiency while maintaining quality standards. Addis implemented advanced inventory management systems that optimized production schedules and reduced waste, giving him a cost advantage over less sophisticated competitors. Investments in mechanization allowed for increased production capacity without compromising craftsmanship, enabling the company to meet growing demand while keeping prices competitive. Strategic partnerships with raw material suppliers ensured stable access to high-quality components at favorable rates, further strengthening market position. The competitive landscape also spurred innovation in complementary products and services. Recognizing the synergies between different aspects of personal hygiene, Addis expanded his product line to include tooth powders, mouthwashes, and specialized cleaning tools. This diversification created a comprehensive oral care ecosystem that made it difficult for competitors to penetrate the market with single product offerings. Educational initiatives expanded beyond toothbrush use to encompass broader dental health practices, positioning the company as a holistic provider of hygiene solutions. Perhaps most significantly, competition accelerated the professionalization of the dental hygiene industry. As manufacturers vied for market share, they collectively raised awareness about the importance of regular dental care, creating a virtuous cycle of demand and innovation. Professional organizations for dentists and hygienists emerged, establishing standards of practice and promoting research into oral health. This institutional development benefited the entire industry while simultaneously raising the bar for market participants, forcing even successful companies like Addis's to continually demonstrate their commitment to advancing dental science. The international dimension of competition led to interesting cross-cultural exchanges and technological transfers. Addis actively monitored developments in foreign markets, incorporating promising innovations into his own product lines while adapting them to suit local preferences. For example, Japanese lacquer techniques observed in competitor products were refined and integrated into premium offerings, while German engineering principles influenced improvements in manufacturing equipment. This global dialogue of ideas accelerated the pace of innovation across the industry, benefiting consumers worldwide. Legal battles over intellectual property rights became increasingly common as the market matured. Addis engaged in numerous lawsuits to protect his patents and trademarks, setting important precedents in international trade law. These legal skirmishes, while costly and time-consuming, ultimately strengthened the framework for protecting innovation in consumer products, benefiting the entire industry in the long term. The experience gained through these legal challenges also enhanced Addis's understanding of global market dynamics, informing strategic decisions about market entry and expansion. Despite the intense competition, Addis maintained his market leadership through a combination of factors. His early mover advantage, established reputation for quality, and extensive distribution network provided a strong foundation upon which to build defensive and offensive strategies. Continuous investment in research and development kept his products at the forefront of technological advancement, while sophisticated marketing campaigns reinforced brand loyalty among consumers. Operational efficiencies and economies of scale enabled competitive pricing without sacrificing quality, making it difficult for newcomers to gain significant market share. The competitive environment also fostered innovation in business practices beyond product development. Addis pioneered new approaches to customer service, introducing satisfaction guarantees and responsive support systems that set new standards in the industry. Data collection and analysis became increasingly sophisticated, allowing for more targeted marketing and product development strategies. Employee training programs emphasized customer engagement and technical expertise, creating a workforce capable of delivering exceptional value at every point of contact. As the 19th century progressed, the dental hygiene market evolved from a niche product category into a complex industry characterized by rapid innovation and fierce competition. William Addis's ability to navigate this challenging landscape, balancing the demands of innovation, quality, and commercial viability, demonstrated remarkable business acumen. The competition he faced not only pushed his company to greater heights, but also contributed to the overall advancement of dental hygiene practices worldwide, creating a legacy that extended far beyond his immediate business interests. William Addis's passing in 1808 marked neither the end of his influence nor the culmination of his legacy. Instead, his death served as a catalyst for the continued evolution and expansion of the dental hygiene industry, with his innovations serving as the foundation upon which future generations would build. The company he founded transitioned seamlessly under the leadership of his son, William Addis Jr., who inherited not just a thriving business, but a profound understanding of the intersection between innovation, commerce, and public health. This generational continuity ensured that the core values and pioneering spirit established by the elder Addis remained intact while accommodating the rapidly changing needs of society. The younger Addis wasted no time in demonstrating his commitment to innovation. Within months of assuming leadership, he initiated a comprehensive review of the company's operations, identifying opportunities for technological advancement and market expansion. His first major contribution came in the form of mechanized production equipment that significantly increased manufacturing capacity while maintaining the high-quality standards established by his father. This investment in industrial technology positioned the company at the forefront of the Second Industrial Revolution, enabling it to meet the growing global demand for toothbrushes more efficiently than ever before. Under William Addis Jr. Is stewardship, the company expanded its research and development capabilities dramatically. A dedicated innovation center was established near the original Fleet Street factory, housing teams of engineers, chemists, and dental professionals who worked collaboratively to advance dental hygiene technology. This facility became a crucible for groundbreaking developments, including the introduction of multi-level bristle patterns that improved cleaning efficacy and the development of specialized toothbrushes for orthodontic patients. The younger Addis also pioneered the concept of age-specific dental care products, creating separate lines for infants, adolescents, and senior citizens, each tailored to the unique needs of these demographic groups. The late 19th and early 20th centuries witnessed dramatic shifts in public health awareness, and the Addis Company played a crucial role in shaping these changes. William Addis Jr. forged partnerships with emerging dental associations and public health organizations, contributing funding and expertise to large-scale educational campaigns about oral hygiene. These initiatives extended far beyond mere product promotion, encompassing comprehensive programs that addressed nutrition, preventive care, and the psychological aspects of dental health. The company's involvement in these efforts helped establish dental hygiene as a fundamental component of overall health care, influencing public policy and healthcare practices worldwide. Technological advancements during this period provided new opportunities for innovation. The younger Addis embraced electric motor technology to develop early prototypes of powered toothbrushes, though these would not reach commercial viability until decades later. More immediately impactful was his adoption of synthetic materials, particularly nylon bristles introduced in the 1930s, which revolutionized toothbrush design by offering superior durability and hygiene compared to natural bristles. This transition required significant investment in new manufacturing processes and quality control systems, but the resulting improvements in product performance solidified the company's leadership position in the industry. Global expansion accelerated under William Addis Jr.'s leadership, with strategic acquisitions and partnerships extending the company's reach into emerging markets. Unlike his father's primarily organic growth strategy, the younger Addis recognized the value of mergers and acquisitions in rapidly penetrating new territories. He successfully negotiated partnerships with local manufacturers in Japan, India, and South America, creating hybrid operations that combined global expertise with local market knowledge. These ventures not only expanded the company's footprint but also facilitated the cross-pollination of ideas and technologies between different regions. The company's contributions to scientific research grew increasingly sophisticated with each passing decade. The early 20th century, the Addis organization had established formal research collaborations with leading universities and dental schools, sponsoring studies on topics ranging from plaque formation to gum disease prevention. These academic partnerships yielded valuable insights that informed product development and marketing strategies while advancing the broader field of dental science. The company's annual research symposium became a prestigious event in the dental community, attracting experts from around the world to share findings and discuss emerging trends. Environmental considerations began influencing company operations during the latter half of the 20th century, reflecting growing societal awareness of ecological issues. Under subsequent generations of leadership, the Addis Company pioneered sustainable manufacturing practices, including water recycling systems, renewable energy sources, and biodegradable packaging materials. These initiatives not only addressed environmental concerns but also resonated with increasingly eco-conscious consumers, creating new market opportunities while reinforcing the brand's commitment to social responsibility. The digital revolution of the late 20th and early 21st centuries presented both challenges and opportunities that the Addis company navigated with characteristic innovation. The introduction of smart toothbrushes, equipped with sensors and connectivity features, marked a new frontier in dental hygiene technology. These devices, capable of tracking brushing patterns and providing personalized feedback through mobile applications, represented the culmination of centuries of incremental improvements stemming from William Addis Sr. represented the culmination of centuries of incremental improvements stemming from William Addis Sr. The company's investment in digital health technologies positioned it at the intersection of consumer products and healthcare technology, opening new avenues for growth and impact. Throughout these generations of evolution, certain core principles established by William Addis Sr. remained constant. The commitment to quality, the emphasis on innovation, and the dedication to improving public health through better dental hygiene practices served as guiding stars for successive leadership teams. Each generation added its own contributions while preserving the foundational values that had made the company successful, creating a legacy that extended far beyond mere commercial achievement. The impact of the Addis family's multi-generational leadership can be measured not just in market share or financial success, but in the profound changes wrought upon global hygiene practices and public health awareness. From its humble beginnings in a Newgate prison cell to its position as a global leader in dental hygiene technology, the company demonstrated remarkable resilience and adaptability across centuries of change. Each generation faced unique challenges and opportunities, but all shared the vision of improving human health through innovative solutions to everyday problems. A testament to the enduring power of human ingenuity to transform society for the better. The legacy of William Addis extends far beyond the physical toothbrushes that bear his name, representing a profound transformation in human consciousness regarding personal hygiene and public health. His invention, born from the confines of a prison cell, has evolved into a cornerstone of modern civilization, fundamentally altering how humanity approaches daily living and self-care. The ripple effects of his innovation continue to shape not only dental hygiene practices, but also broader aspects of public health policy, social behavior, and technological advancement. In the realm of public health, Addis's contribution stands as a prime example of how a simple tool can catalyze widespread behavioral change. The adoption of regular toothbrushing has directly correlated with significant reductions in dental diseases, with studies indicating that proper oral hygiene can prevent up to 30% of dental caries and 20% of periodontal diseases. These statistics translate into substantial healthcare savings and improved quality of life for millions worldwide. Moreover, the connection between oral health and systemic conditions such as cardiovascular disease and diabetes has elevated dental hygiene from a mere cosmetic concern to a critical component of overall health maintenance. a perspective that owes much to Addis's pioneering work. The social implications of universal toothbrush adoption have proven equally transformative. Personal presentation, once limited by the constraints of natural dental appearance, has become democratized through accessible hygiene practices. The confidence gained from maintaining oral health has empowered individuals across social strata, influencing everything from employment opportunities to social mobility. Contemporary research in psychology and sociology continues to document the positive correlation between good dental hygiene and social outcomes, validating Addis's intuitive understanding of the relationship between personal care and social acceptance. Technologically, the evolution of the toothbrush serves as a microcosm of industrial progress. From the handcrafted wooden handles of the 18th century to today's smart toothbrushes equipped with artificial intelligence and internet connectivity, the device exemplifies humanity's relentless pursuit of improvement. Each technological leap, from the introduction of synthetic bristles to the development of electric motors, has built upon Addis's original concept, demonstrating how foundational inventions can serve as platforms for continuous innovation. The current integration of dental hygiene devices with health monitoring systems represents the latest chapter in this ongoing narrative of technological advancement. Economically, the toothbrush industry has grown into a global powerhouse, generating billions in revenue annually, while creating countless jobs across multiple sectors. From raw material suppliers to advanced manufacturing facilities, from packaging designers to digital health developers, the ecosystem surrounding Addis's invention supports entire communities worldwide. The industry's growth has also stimulated related sectors, including dental care products, oral health research, and public health initiatives, creating a multiplier effect that benefits economies at locust, national, and global levels. Culturally, the toothbrush has become embedded in daily rituals worldwide, transcending linguistic and geographical boundaries to become a universal symbol of modernity and civilization. Its presence in homes across the globe represents far more than a hygiene tool. It embodies centuries of human progress in understanding health, implementing technology, and improving quality of life. The act of toothbrushing itself has evolved into a meditative practice for many, marking the transition between day and night, work and rest, public and private spheres. The environmental impact of the toothbrush industry has emerged as a contemporary challenge that reflects broader societal concerns about sustainability. Modern innovations in biodegradable materials, refillable designs, and efficient production methods trace their roots back to Addis's original emphasis on practical functionality and resource optimization. Current research into alternative materials and circular economy models demonstrates how the industry continues to evolve in response to environmental imperatives, maintaining the spirit of innovation that characterized its inception. Public health initiatives worldwide owe much to Addis's pioneering work, with governments and organizations recognizing oral hygiene as a fundamental human right. The inclusion of toothbrushes and other dental hygiene products in humanitarian aid packages, disaster relief efforts, and public health campaigns underscores their essential role in maintaining human dignity and well-being. International organizations continue to promote basic hygiene practices as part of broader development goals, building upon the foundation laid by Addis's simple yet revolutionary invention. Looking forward, the principles embodied in Addis's work continue to inspire new generations of innovators. The convergence of artificial intelligence, nanotechnology, and biomedicine promises to further revolutionize dental hygiene practices, potentially eliminating many common oral health issues altogether. Researchers exploring genetic predispositions to dental diseases, developing regenerative dental materials, and creating personalized hygiene solutions all stand on the shoulders of Addis's original insight that thoughtful design can transform basic human needs into opportunities for improvement. The story of William Addis serves as a powerful reminder of innovation's unpredictable nature and far-reaching consequences. What began as a solution to personal discomfort evolved into a global phenomenon that touches nearly every aspect of modern life. His journey from prisoner to pioneer exemplifies the human capacity to create meaningful change regardless of circumstances, demonstrating how seemingly small ideas can grow into movements that shape civilizations. As humanity continues to grapple with new challenges in health, technology, and social development, the legacy of William Addis stands as a testament to the enduring power of innovation to improve lives and transform societies.